welcome to the Weight Loss Doctor series. Normally, we talk about day-to-day tips and tricks on health, weight loss, nutrition and fitness in this channel. So if you want to get more about it, just subscribe to our channel. And in this particular video, we shall talk about intermittent fasting. Does it help you in losing weight? Keep watching, more valuable tips coming up for you than any other video you can find on internet. Intermittent fasting has been dated from the Stone Age itself. Think about the condition when human beings used to live in the caves and they used to hunt animals for their food. Agriculture, cultivation was not known at the time. People used to hunt their food, they used to roast and cook it for themselves, and they used to eat it together. They used to have a party with those, and they used to socialize, they used to have it for a whole day. And again, after that feast, they didn't have anything to eat for a day or more than a day. And that's intermittent fasting from the origin itself. And remember, the weight gain, the fat, the belly fat and metabolic syndromes, everything has dated nowadays over this century. And intermittent fasting at that time was being practiced, and carbs were not known as those days, and lots of foods were mainly protein foods and the fat foods, and you could hardly get any processed food there, the processed carbs or any simple carbs. Long after the fruits came into being, and slowly humans, they slowly got adapted to the modernization era and they started cultivating. And then came the idea and the culture of cultivating their own food and preparing the grains, the rice, the roti, and everything came into being. So that's the history. Intermittent fasting has been there for ages, and it has been proved to be a very good, well-queried means to lose weight. Now let's talk about how to do intermittent fasting correctly. The idea is to eat in a time period. That's the window period we call it. It's a normally 8-hour period, and 16 hours in the 24-hour slot you will go for fasting. You won't eat anything at all. That means, for example, if you are trying intermittent fasting, you are starting at 2 p.m. Your eating window starts at 2 p.m. and it continues till for 8 hours. It will end at 10 p.m. That means the whole meal that you normally take all over the day has to be compressed in that time period. By that I mean you have to eat your whole food within that time period from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can vary it as per your needs. You can do it from morning, for example from 8 a.m. itself. You can do it till 4 p.m. and after that you can go for fasting. But the idea is that the 16 hours of fasting period you shouldn't take anything at all except for water, and that's the idea. And there are some variations too. Nowadays those are coming up, like 24-hour method. By that I mean you are eating for a day and you are going for fasting another day, and again eat for another day, and this cycle continues. How intermittent fasting works? The idea is to have your insulin hormone, the main hormone culprit for the weight gain of yours, to keep it at bay. You should keep it very, very low. The one way of doing it is to reduce carbohydrates. Other way to do it is ketosis, and the intermittent fasting is following the same principle, keeping the glucose level low, and by that way keeping the insulin level low. Even when you are taking very less carbs, and that within a period of 8 hours, by the 16 hours period the insulin hormone is at dead low, and for that the insulin, the hormone being responsible for fat storage as well as stopping the fat cells from allowing fatty acid mobilization, these things get better. And so what happens, the fat cells just open up, free fatty acid mobilization starts, and the hormone is not there, so the extra glucose is not dumped in your adipose tissues as fat. So that's important. Insulin hormone being kept low helps a lot in opening up your fat burning pathway. That's the most important point. The other point is also psychological. I mean, if you are eating for only 8 hours a day, can you eat a ton? You can't, I bet. You can't. So you will eat very less, and that's actually going to help you with controlling your calories. Even it has role in some diseases like dementia, Alzheimer's disease. Now apart from that insulin part, the growth hormone is enhanced. That means the growth hormone secretion is increased, and that in turn helps you in losing weight. Again, there is some other benefits also, like you get psychologically better. You just can't eat a ton when you are eating, having a very less time to eat. That window period of 8 hours won't allow it to eat a lot. So by indirectly you are controlling your calories. That's a very important point of intermittent fasting. And if you add keto diet with that, that's just simple great. Now the weight losers normally used to have keto diet with intermittent fasting. That's a great way to do, because if you are plateauing at a stage when you are not able to lose weight at all, you are doing everything, you are counting calories, you are on the base of calories, you are going for keto, nothing works, go for intermittent fasting. Try to intermingle with ketosis, as in ketosis your appetite is very low, you are always full. You can have intermittent fasting very easily, and that can tide you over the plateau state, and you can again start losing weight. That's a very good way to tide over the plateau and get the balls moving. So intermittent fasting is not for everyone. Whenever you are trying to lose weight, think that you are almost 100 kg body weight. If you're a 100 kg body weight guy, don't think you should start with intermittent fasting right away. You should do step by step, fast. You have to do calorie deficit. You have to go for weight training exercise. You have to go for other means of losing weight, the basics one. If you reach a plateau, you can no way tide over it, go for ketosis. And even if it doesn't work, we normally go to these things to tide over those plateaus, like intermittent fasting and ketosis combined. So intermittent fasting is not for everybody, and it's not for the beginners. It's for an advanced stage when nothing works for your diet. Try to eat in that window of 8 hours and try to keep your insulin low, try to get your hormones up, try to get the psychological benefit, try to keep the carbs low, and that actually is going to help you a lot. And remember one very important point, in intermittent fasting, that 8-hour period cannot be abused. You just can't eat anything you like, you can't get dirty at that time with your diet. So that's the main principle of intermittent fasting. It works. If you can try it, I can assure you, if you are not getting result, this is the best way to turn to. Intermittent fasting is going to work for you. So if you like this video about intermittent fasting, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe our channel, and please ring that bell icon so that whenever I release a video, you will be the first one to get it. And for your information, there is a blog written by me, Intermittent Fasting Basics, in my blog site, Easy Fitness Idea. I have given the link here down below in that description part. So read it to get the full details of intermittent fasting. So that's all for today. Bye bye. See you next time.